Why is food becoming unaffordable?
Somebody needs to explain to me why I can't afford this ground beef.
Nothing has gotten better. Prices have all gone up.
The price for 1 pound of ground beef is now more than the federal minimum wage, guys.
I literally feel like I need to remortgage my house in order to afford beef nowadays.
Groceries so expensive, I might start hunting the squirrels I see in front of my house and shit.
So this is out of control. Prices are ridiculous.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm over these prices on everything.
Fast food places have completely lost their mind.
Food used to be predictable. You walked into a grocery store knowing roughly what you'd spend. You could estimate your week. You could plan your meals without anxiety. Now, every trip feels uncertain. Prices that used to feel stable are suddenly volatile. A bag of groceries that once cost $50 now costs $80, sometimes more. And nothing about it feels temporary. It's not one item, it's everything. Eggs, meat, bread, vegetables, snacks, even store brands. People aren't shopping differently because they want to. They're shopping differently because they have to. They compare more. They calculate more. They put items back more often. Food, the most basic human need, has become a source of stress. And what makes this even heavier is that eating isn't optional. You can cancel subscriptions. You can delay purchases. You can downgrade luxuries. You can't stop buying food. When food prices go up, there's no escape. Every household feels it. Families stretch meals. Individuals skip items they once relied on. Parents quietly eat less so their kids can eat more. This isn't exaggeration. This is adaptation. Food prices aren't just rising. They're climbing in a way that reshapes behavior. And for many people, eating well is no longer affordable. It's becoming strategic. It's becoming rationed. And in some cases, it's becoming impossible.
Groceries are expensive as shit. Groceries so expensive, I might start hunting the squirrels I see in front of my house and shit. They got different flavor squirrels too. Brown squirrels, black squirrels and shit. Groceries so expensive, I'm thinking about hunting all these animals, these free animals and shit. It shouldn't be like this and shit. Where I'm looking at squirrels with my mouth watering and shit. Groceries shouldn't be this expensive and shit. Something's gotta change.
Somebody needs to explain to me why I can't afford this ground beef. I go into the supermarket, okay, because I'm looking for some ground beef for my lasagna and also for my spaghetti. I found the ground beef. Why is it $30? Who can afford that? And don't get me started on the chuck roast. The chuck roast is like $15 per pound. You guys, that is insane. What happened to groceries becoming more affordable? What the hell? That's an affordable lie. Like, I am so disgusted right now. Dinner canceled because I can't even afford the beef for the dang on lasagna.
Where's all this steak money going? They want $47 for this and it expires today. I was shocked when I found out the price difference from the farmer to the grocery stores. You see, the farmers aren't making $50 for a couple steaks. They get paid for the weight of the live animal. So that's what makes me wonder here, is why aren't we taking better care of our farmers? We need our farmers. If you care about where your food comes from, give me a follow and leave a comment. We need to take better care of our farmers.
Is anybody else sick of these grocery bills? Because I just spent $80 at Trader Joe's. I still have to buy food like to eat for dinner for the week at a regular grocery store. That's gonna cost me over $100. So this is out of control. Prices are ridiculous. I don't even know what I bought at Trader Joe's. Can you guys relate? Because why are prices so expensive?
Show this to any of your MAGA friends and family that insist that prices are down. This brochure here is from 2024 and this one is from 2025. 1 year apart from the supermarket ShopRite. I'm going to show you prices of rib roast, $5.99 when Biden was president, December of 2024. $5.99, that was the sale price. Now the same prime rib roast is $9.99. That's 67% higher under Trump. But no, there was more. Hold on. How about this? Another bone-in beef rib roast, $7.99 a pound in 2024 when Biden was president. Now, check it out. On sale also, $11.99. That's 50% higher under Trump a year later. Same store, same product. One more. Here we go. A bone-in beef rib roast Angus Prime, $14.99 under Biden, and now $19.99. That's 34% higher under Trump. Everything is more expensive. Show this to your MAGA friends and family. My question to you is, do you know anybody, any family or friend members that insist that prices are down? Smash that like and repost the video so others can see it.
Why is food becoming unaffordable? I literally feel like I need to remortgage my house in order to afford beef nowadays. And prices are up across the aisle. How do we live in the richest country in the world and can't even afford fast food anymore? Is this just corporate greed, or is there something genuinely making food more expensive? Let me explain. Hi, my name is Jones and I'm building Invasive, a community of people who want to save your wallet by eating the invaders. Invasive species or non-native organisms that cause some sort of economic or environmental damage are one of the most overlooked factors causing your food inflation. From the extinction of oranges in Florida due to insects to wild pigs destroying crops in the South, it's getting harder than ever for farmers to grow what we love. And sadly, they're passing the cost on to you. Ooh, but there's a simple solution to this problem. Eat the invaders. Some of the worst invasive species are some of the best tasting. Just look at this green crab sandwich. Delicious. In some states, you can literally get paid to hunt and eat them. So yeah, let me know what your invasive species struggle meal would be.
Just went to KFC, got a small tater wedge, and a small starry. What the grand total, you might ask? $6.40. Who do I need to contact about this? $2.99 for the wedge. Reasonable. $2.99 for the drink. Unreasonable. Oh, I see the problem. I asked for a small star. They gave me medium. MD. I don't like overpaying for stuff, y'all. It puts a bad feeling in my bones. I don't like it. Especially, okay, let me taste the wedge. Let me taste the wedges. And let me see if let me taste the starry first, because this is $1 million right here. Not worth it. I would say worth $1.50 at best. Worth $3? No. I'm gonna give these $2.50. That means my grand total should have been $4. What do y'all think? Fast food is getting ridiculous. I remember one time I went to McDonald's and I ordered a double cheeseburger meal, right? She says the total $8 and something. I said, oh no, ma'am. I said I ordered a double cheeseburger meal. Not a Big Mac, not a quarter pounder. I said I ordered a double cheeseburger. She said, ma'am, that is the double cheeseburger price. Anyway. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm over these prices on everything. I just left from Walmart. I spent almost $200 on nothing. On nothing at all. Nothing at all. You know, I ain't broke. I don't mind spending it. I don't mind spending it at all. Sometimes you be like, okay, I'm gonna spend some money for sure. Nothing on my receipt is over $15. Nothing on my receipt is over $15. And it's not a long receipt. I don't think I got that much for almost $180 worth of shit. There's no way. There's no way. I kept looking at the receipt, looking at my shit, looking at the receipt, looking at my shit. All they had to give me. They had to give me. I calculated everything on this receipt. Like, there's no way. The receipt is right. The receipt is right. Wow. I feel like I didn't get shit. So I don't feel like it was worth $180. And that's disappointing. Like, if I would have got some big shit, like something on this list over $15, I'm like, okay. But I didn't spend over $15 on one item. I'm stressed.
Food inflation hits differently. than other price increases. When electronics go up, you wait. When clothing goes up, you postpone. When food goes up, you feel it immediately. Because groceries are weekly, sometimes daily, and when prices rise steadily, they compound quickly. A few extra dollars per item turn into dozens more per trip. What once lasted a week now barely stretches 5 days. People adjust quietly. They buy cheaper brands, they choose processed over fresh, they sacrifice quality for quantity. But even cheaper options aren't cheap anymore. The price floor has moved up, and wages haven't moved with it. So the gap grows. People aren't eating more, they're paying more, and the feeling isn't just financial, it's psychological. Because when the basics feel unstable, everything feels unstable.
The price for 1 pound of ground beef is now more than the federal minimum wage, guys. How crazy is this? And like, how far are they going to let these grocery prices get before they realize that regular people can just not afford this crap? Like, right now, let's do a comparison. Let's use like a couple big chains at where I live. I'm on the West Coast. So we've got like Albertsons, we've got Vons, we've got Stater Brothers, which I think is kind of like a West Coast thing. All of those are about twice the price of an Aldi, a Walmart, a Winco, a Safeco, or a Heb, or like a Food for Less if you have that. So I will tell you that of all the places that I'm shopping right now, Aldi happens to be my favorite. And no, they don't have everything. And Aldi is like the great value brand at Walmart. That's all they have in the whole store is the Aldi brand. So there's not as much selection, but I like a lot of the stuff that they have there. So I did a price comparison out here. Stater Brothers, which is down the street from me, has amazing butcher department. The meat department is great. So I went and bought my weekly groceries there.
Nothing has gotten better. Prices have all gone up. I mean, individual prices, you might be able to point to individual items that the prices of which have come down. But generally speaking, prices are up across the board, right? We still have inflation. They're saying it's now a little bit down. Of course, these are government numbers, so we can't trust government numbers anymore. When he goes and fires the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because she reported jobs numbers that he didn't like, because then he fires her for that. You can't trust any numbers that come out after that. But even those numbers say that, you know, there still is inflation. It's like 2.8 according to government numbers. Well, that means prices are still rising at 2.8%, right? No prices haven't come down. They're going up. And that's not what he promised. He didn't promise that I will slightly reduce the rate of increase in prices. No, he said I will bring prices down starting on day one. And of course, that hasn't happened. He intentionally has made prices more expensive by putting a friggin' tax on them with his friggin' tariffs. And as to the prices of things, that's only going to get worse. Take a look at this headline from the Wall Street Journal. The break is over. Companies are jacking up prices again. Now, this article goes on to talk about many of the things that are contributing prices. Number one, tariffs. You know, even though tariffs have made things more expensive in the last year, the full effect of the tariffs still haven't gone, haven't been fully absorbed by consumers yet. Because, you know, with Donald Trump going back and forth on tariffs, a lot of companies have been reluctant to fully pass on the costs because they're afraid of losing market share to competitors. So some of these companies, you know, depending upon the industry and things like that, they've been doing their best to not pass on the full cost of the tariffs for fear of losing customers to competitors, but they can't do it anymore. You know, and in the hopes, they were hoping, well, maybe this fucking lunatic will take the tariffs off and then, you know, we'll be okay. Well, they can't hold out anymore. We're like over a year into this presidency. We're almost a full year into his tariffs. I think, you know, it was last spring that he slapped those massive tariffs on everything. And they just can't eat them anymore. They can't eat these tariffs at all anymore. And more they're going to be passing those costs on.
Fast food places have completely lost their mind. Many of them are now more expensive than sit-down restaurants. Don't believe me? Look at the prices if you go through McDonald's, if you go through Chipotle, Burger King, Wendy's. Now, look at the prices for the people that have fixed this. Look at Chili's prices. At Chili's right now, you can go to Chili's and get a big burger or a big chicken sandwich with fries and a drink for $9.99. That's their lunch special for people that want to come in and grab lunch from Chili's. Red Lobster changed when Debola came in and completely switched everything for them. Now they have happy hours. They have $5 margaritas. They have seafood boils. All of these sit-down places that were in trouble because their business wasn't going good. They were looking at bankruptcy. They were like, oh crap, there's a huge market for all these places now where fast food has gone for where it started at COVID to 3 times as much now. The other day, I paid $52.64 for 2 bowls and 2 drinks at Chipotle. Receipt is on my story. Look at the prices at these places. It's absolutely nuts. And I know I'll get comments on this video. People be like, oh, you shouldn't be eating fast food anyway. I totally get it. You're right, actually. But what happens is every once in a while you want to go out with friends. You want to go out and grab a little drink after work. You want to go out and have a meal at lunch. You know, you meal prepped and your meal prep went bad by the end of the week. So you're going to grab something from Chili's now. Because now it's at a point where McDonald's or Chipotle is twice as much as Chili's. Think about how crazy that is, guys. Chili's, that was a sit-down restaurant where you could go and with your family, just like TGI Fridays, Applebee's, any of these places, right? It's now half the price of McDonald's or Chipotle. So I predict that McDonald's, Chipotle, Starbucks, all of them are eventually going to have to fix their pricing because it's gotten so insane that normal people are going to stop going because there's way cheaper options now because some companies have actually started to get it, that they've completely priced themselves out. And fast food places, you guys have the lowest quality of food in the United States that people can buy, full of preservatives, chemicals, everything else. And like I can go to In-N-Out right now for half the price that I can go to McDonald's. That's nuts because the food's way better at In-N-Out. So a lot of these places are going to keep crashing. Chipotle stock as of today is down 15%. Last week, they were on the TV saying, oh, it's because Gen Z doesn't eat out. We eat out. We're not eating out at your place anymore because you're too expensive for the quality of food that you put out. Let me know if you think I'm right.
The hardest part about rising food prices is that they don't discriminate. Whether someone earns minimum wage or middle-class income, everyone notices the increase. But lower-income households feel it first and hardest. Food budgets shrink before anything else does. Meals get simpler, portions get smaller, variety disappears, fresh produce becomes a luxury, healthy options become conditional, people start prioritizing calories over nutrition, not because they don't care, but because affordability forces the choice. At the same time, companies shrink portion sizes. Packages look familiar but contain less, so people pay more for less food. And that combination creates pressure that doesn't fade. It builds, trip after trip, week after week.
I just paid $16 for 4 oranges. Four Sumo oranges, $16. Ask me again why I have to work 2 jobs. Ask me again why I have to be a freaking nurse in an emergency room and I also have to work a second job. Tell me again that I have a lot of money. Tell me again that because I work 2 jobs, I should be able to do all of this stuff. No, baby. I paid $16. 16, not 6, 16 for 4 fucking oranges. Ask me again why America's fat.
We got breaking news. It was just announced that the average family of 4 is spending over $1,000 per month on groceries. But that's not even the craziest part because there's something that's going to make food prices go up even higher. What you have to understand is tariffs and inflation are increasing prices of food, but there are also massive labor shortages and weather issues across the globe causing prices to go up 5 to 6% every few months. That's why meat, eggs, and other consumer staples are becoming so expensive and borderline unaffordable. Now, inflation is stabilizing for other parts of the economy. Housing and electronics are both seeing under a 2.5% growth in inflation this year, but groceries are expected to inflate 3% for the next 2 years. In fact, analysts are expecting food prices to go up 4 to 7% in 2026 alone, and it's because of these 2 reasons. 1, more tariffs. The president said that he might pass more tariffs on different countries, which would cause more expensive grocery prices. The second is the deportations. As much as we like to admit it or not, it's going to cause labor prices to go up, and we're already feeling it in our economy. Because of all this, it's become more popular to shop in bulk, like Costco and Sam's Club. But let me know in the comment section, are you feeling this spike of groceries? And let me know your story. How is it affecting you? For more news that makes you money, give me a follow.
I feel like crying, y'all. I just put 3 bags in my car, right? Just left my neighborhood Smith's. Look how much I spent, y'all. $80 for 3 punk-ass bags. So much love to all my good people out there that's making it happen, because I don't know what these people talking about when they say inflation is getting better. That's a damn lie.
And let me tell y'all something. A bitch is ready to pack up, move away, get on my old McDonald Had a Farm shit. Cause look at this. Like, excuse me? Y'all dead ass serious gonna deliberately put a bullshit ass batch of rotten fruit on the tray? Then got the audacity, cause it don't stop there. Got the audacity to put a sign talking about 4 for $3. My brother, I'm not buying not one of them things. Never felt so disrespected in my entire life. Charging me $3 for 4 spoiled ass fools. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, what in the fuck? That's how y'all giving it up? That's how y'all feel? Say swear! Where's the class? Where's the decorum? Better yet, where's the shame? The embarrassment, the humility, the indecency, for God's sake.
When food becomes unaffordable, it signals something deeper than inflation. It signals imbalance. Food is foundational. It's not entertainment. It's not optional spending. It's survival. And when survival becomes expensive, people begin to feel cornered. They cut back everywhere else first. But once food is the thing being cut, the stress becomes real. Families feel it around the dinner table. Parents calculate silently. Young adults feel independence slipping. Older individuals on fixed incomes stretch dollars beyond reason. And over time, this does more than strain budgets. It reshapes daily life. Eating becomes calculation instead of nourishment. Shopping becomes stress instead of routine. Trust in affordability erodes because people notice something unsettling. Prices rarely come down. They rise quickly. They settle high. They stay there. And wages struggle to keep pace. So the question becomes quiet but urgent. How long can this continue? Because when food prices outpace income, the result isn't inconvenience. It's insecurity. And insecurity spreads. It spreads into health, into mental well-being, into community stability. People forced to choose cheaper, lower quality food often face long-term health consequences. But when the alternative is unaffordable, choice disappears. This isn't about luxury dining, it's about groceries, about basic staples, about everyday meals. When those become burdens, it reflects something larger than market fluctuation. It reflects a system under strain. Food prices going sky high aren't just numbers on a chart. They're receipts in wallets. They're empty shelves in refrigerators. They're difficult conversations at checkout. And if this trend continues, eating well won't just feel expensive. It will feel exclusive, a privilege instead of a right. That shift is subtle, but powerful. Because when the most basic need becomes unstable, people don't just adjust, they worry, and that worry becomes part of everyday life. Not dramatic, not loud, just constant. And constant pressure changes people. It makes them cautious. It makes them tense. It makes them feel like the ground beneath them isn't steady anymore. Food prices rising isn't just an economic issue. It's a human one. Because when eating becomes unaffordable, stability becomes fragile. And fragility, once normalized, is hard to reverse.